In this video, we're going to talk about a potentially life-saving piece of equipment that you can put on your mountain bike. And of course, I'm talking about the timber bell. So if you're not familiar with the timber bell, it's designed to use the bumps on the trail to activate the bell. Unlike other bike bells where you actually have to push a lever to make the bell ding, this one uses the bumps. And so you can have the bell completely silent. So when you move this lever to the very top, the bell will be completely silent. If you move the lever down one position, the bell will ding, but it requires more significant bumps on the trail to make the bell ding. And then if you move that lever all the way down to the bottom, the bell will require less significant bumps and it dings more frequently. So the timber bell is especially useful and, dare I say, necessary on trails that allow hikers and on multi-directional trails, particularly when you're descending. Now, the first time that I used the timber bell was on my local cross-country trails that did not have long descents. And I probably encountered 3 or 4 different groups of either hikers or mountain bikers coming the other way that prepared and moved off the trail or moved over. And it's really, like I said, a great piece of safety gear because it can cause you to avoid collisions with bikers coming the other way or hikers. The trails that I ride are particularly tight and twisty, and on the weekends when the trails are crowded, this bell has actually prevented me from having a head-on collision or very close encounter with bikers coming the other way. And of course, for hikers, it allows them to move out of the way because when you're descending rapidly, it's a great way to be courteous to hikers. And as we all know, there can be tension between mountain bikers and hikers. And this can, honestly, it can really alleviate that tension. And I'm actually starting to see more and more people use the timber bell. I was recently on a trip in Colorado. I was in Colorado Springs, and I saw several mountain bikers using the timber bell because all the trails that I was riding allowed hikers, which most mountain bike trails do, and they were multi-directional trails. The timber bell comes in 2 different styles. So this one is a style that uses an O-ring to attach it to the handlebars. And then you've got one that uses a little Allen wrench. I would recommend this one if your handlebars are perfectly round. Now, several of my bikes use an asymmetrical handlebar, which I'll show in a minute. This one does not fit that well on those. But if your bars are perfectly round and you only have one mountain bike, this is a good option. If you want to switch the bell from bike to bike, which I do because I've got a couple mountain bikes and then I have at least one demo in my fleet. And also, like I said, my handlebars are not perfectly round. And so that's why I prefer this style, which attaches with an O-ring. And it attaches really quickly. So the O-ring is on the bottom. You just bring it around to the top of the handlebars and hook it on the top hook. And like I said, it's very quick to install. And these are the one-up bars that are somewhat asymmetrical, which the O-ring style fits a lot better than the permanent clamp with the Allen wrench. So this is a quick video clip of me using the timber bell in the North Georgia mountains on a descent so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. Right behind you. I appreciate it. Thank you. No, but just me. Now, as you can tell, the timber bell can sound a little bit annoying, but that's kind of the idea because you really want to warn people that you're coming down the trail. Now, that's why you want to deactivate the bell when you're climbing, why this lever exists, because you don't want to listen to the bell while you're climbing. And as more and more people use these, which I think they should, you want to be able to hear mountain bikers coming down the trail. And so if you have your bell active when you're climbing, you're not going to be able to hear them. But like I said, it does get annoying. Now you kind of get used to it. So as I mentioned earlier, I use this on my cross-country trails when they're crowded. Not only are our trails tight and twisty, they're really thick foliage, so there's a lot of corners where you can't see someone coming around the corner. And that's where the timber bell is really effective. Now, locally, I'm probably the only one that I've seen use this. In the mountains, I've seen more people use them, but on local cross-country trails, I'm the only one. Hopefully that'll change, because it really is a good piece of safety equipment. So that is my quick video on the timber bell. As I mentioned earlier, I prefer the one with the O-ring because I switch it between bikes and some of my bars are not perfectly round. But either way, pick up a timber bell. It's not only safe, but it's also courteous to hikers. And by the way, if you ride in bear country, this can save your life from a bear. So any questions or comments, let me know below. Do you use one of these? Have you had any situations where you felt like it saved you or a hiker or another biker? Let me know also in the comments below. Thanks for watching.